Hey there, you know how people say, if America falls, the world falls with it? Sounds like a bad movie tagline, right? But it's actually closer to the truth than you'd think. Today, we're diving into what would happen if the US economy truly collapsed. Trust me, this isn't just about Wall Street losing bonuses. It would touch every single person on Earth, including you. So stick around, because what you're about to learn might just blow your mind. First things first, what does collapse even mean? We're not talking about a regular recession or a market dip that CNBC covers for a week and forgets about. We're talking about a full-blown disaster. Banks shutting their doors, businesses folding left and right, unemployment soaring past 30%, the stock market erasing decades of gains, and the US government unable to pay its debts. Think Great Depression, but even worse. As of 2025, the US economy makes up about 24% of the world's GDP. It's the largest economy, the world's biggest consumer, and home to the most critical reserve currency, the US dollar. If America's economy crashes, the global economy takes a massive hit. But how could it even happen? Right now, the US national debt stands at an eye-watering $34.7 trillion. If investors lose faith that America can manage or repay its debt, confidence could vanish overnight. Financial markets are built entirely on trust. Without it, the flow of money stops. Add hyperinflation, a political deadlock like the debt ceiling crisis, a banking collapse, or an international conflict, and you've got the perfect storm. During the 2023 debt ceiling standoff, experts warned that even a temporary default could wipe out 8 million American jobs and erase $12 trillion in household wealth. That was just the tip of the iceberg. Now imagine the real thing. Stock markets wouldn't just dip, they could crash by 50% or more. Banks would panic, leading to withdrawal limits and possible closures. In 2023, we saw a glimpse of this when Silicon Valley Bank collapsed, and that was minor. In a total collapse, you can expect widespread credit freezes. No mortgages, no business loans, no credit cards. Without access to money, businesses can't pay employees, people can't pay rent, and the economy grinds to a halt. Within weeks, unemployment could hit Great Depression levels. Everyday life would change overnight. Grocery stores would face shortages within days. Supply chains would fall apart. Essential goods like food, fuel, and medicine could skyrocket in price. Inflation wouldn't be 3% or 5% anymore. We could see hyperinflation, prices doubling every few months. That $5 coffee? Try $25. Gas could hit $20 a gallon. Civil unrest would likely follow. Protests, riots, and political instability could become everyday news. And it doesn't stop there. The global shockwaves would be even worse. Stock markets worldwide, Europe, Asia, Latin America would collapse alongside Wall Street. In 2008, during the financial crisis, $30 trillion was wiped from global markets. And that was just a banking crisis. A US collapse would be much more severe. Export-heavy countries like China, Mexico, and Germany would see their economies shrink rapidly. Currencies tied closely to the US dollar would plummet. Even strong economies would struggle. Gold would likely surge. In 2008, gold prices rose over 25% as investors scrambled for safety. In a US collapse, gold could easily surpass $3,000 an ounce. Cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin might also spike, but with extreme volatility. Bitcoin crashed 50% during the 2022 bear market before partially recovering. In a collapse, Bitcoin could either be seen as a digital safe haven or crash due to panic selling. Real estate would vary. Luxury city properties might lose value, but farmland and rural properties could become prized assets. In a crisis, basic needs beat luxury every time. Now, can this nightmare be stopped before it even starts? Possibly. The US Federal Reserve has a powerful toolkit, slashing interest rates, injecting liquidity into banks, and quantitative easing, essentially printing money to buy assets and prop up the economy. Congress can pass emergency stimulus bills to pump cash into businesses and households. Despite America's problems, it still has one big advantage: global trust. Even during crises, investors often rush toward the US dollar, not away from it. That's why the dollar strengthened even during the 2008 and 2020 crises. However, trust isn't bulletproof. If the US ever defaulted on its debt, or if hyperinflation hit, global trust could evaporate. Rebuilding it would take decades. Just look at Argentina, once among the richest countries, now battling chronic debt crises. It's a brutal, slow recovery that no major economy wants to face. So what can you do? Diversify your investments. Don't bet everything on US stocks or bonds. Own international assets, real estate, gold, maybe even a small slice of cryptocurrencies, but only if you understand the risks. Keep an emergency fund in cash. Be ready to adapt. Stay informed. Knowing what's happening around you could be the difference between surviving and struggling. In conclusion, if the US economy collapses, it's not just Wall Street that suffers. It's everyone, from your local grocery store to your savings account. It would trigger a global economic chain reaction that would take years, if not decades, to recover from. The good news? We're not there yet. And the better news? Now you know what signs to watch for and how to prepare. Because when it comes to your finances, being prepared isn't just smart, it's essential. Thanks for watching. If you found this useful and want a deeper dive into how global financial collapses reshape the world, let me know in the comments. See you next time.